Jesus Christ did not transgress the sensibilities of the people of his time. He went out of his way not to transgress those sensibilities.
He got crucified. I think he made a few people angry.
And how can I argue with modern research?
Well, if the evidence disagrees with you, you can't pretend it's the opposite. We have a chart up right now. I mean, you don't care, because I imagine if the evidence disagrees with you, it'll be from them. But that was good. That was basically just me beating up like a dummy for a while. That feels good. I just want to know what porn is doing to people that they're not getting in real life. I mean, porn is just when you film people fucking. I mean, I've been with people in real life. Like, what online is happening that is corrupting my brain in a manner distinct to what I can do in real life?
Well, the fact that you can't see a difference between porn and what happens in real life is a sign that you've become addicted to it.
I'm asking you, what difference is there? What new thing am I being subjected to?
One is real, and the other is an image. It's a flickering image on a screen that is a simulation of something real that, in a sense, violates the very nature of sexuality, which is private.
Like movies?
It's intimate.
I've seen movies before.
We're talking about pornography, aren't we?
All movies are flickering images on a screen.
That's right.
So
that's right. Not all movies are pornographic movies, though. So, we're talking about pornographic movies.
Well, what makes that different? You can watch movies, and sometimes they're naked.
It's a portrayal of sexual behavior. That's what makes it different. Sexual activity.
What's the issue with that?
Makes it different. The issue. What is the issue with that?
Well, you're the one whose brain is uncorrupted by pornography. You should be able to pose a rational argument here, right?
I am posing a rational argument, and your darkened mind is not able to comprehend it. Why is your darkened mind the criterion of reality here? That I don't get this.
Enlighten me.
I'm willing to say this is not about me, but I get the sense you're saying it is about you, and that if I can't convince you, then the argument fails.
I just want to know what the difference is. You have one movie in which everyone is wearing a shirt, and then you have another movie in which a lady isn't. What's the categorical? I mean, back in the day, humans were all walking around naked anyway, right? I mean, where does the harm come in?
The point's a distinction which you simply can't understand anymore, because your mind is darkened. So let's get historical here, okay? Instead of this kind of a priori wheel spinning, as soon as Hollywood started making films, they started testing boundaries, breaking down the moral fiber, the boundaries that the people had established at that time as what decent people did.
Why did Hollywood do that?
Because they wanted to make a quick buck, because it's much cheaper and easier to show naked women than it is to build the Colosseum in Rome and have Ben-Hur's chariot race.
I think they're different markets, but I don't think Hollywood produces porn. I think that's a different market.
You don't think Hollywood produces porn? Is that a normative statement, or can I go on about the historical reality?
Do you mean like Hollywood, like studios, or just, or do you mean nebulously like?
No, I mean like Hollywood studios. You obviously don't understand the history of Hollywood, and obviously anyone who is as jaded as you are, having watched pornography, is not going to think that these images are transgressive. But the people.
What happens in those movies that's transgressive?
You could show someone's ankle. You could have innuendo. You could have nudity, like Tarzan, the Tarzan film with that German lady. I forget her name, but anyway, she's swimming naked in a pool.
I just don't understand what the issue with that is. Like, I'm naked underneath my clothing. Unless you're hiding a secret from me, you are too. I just don't understand. What about the depiction of nudity on a screen suddenly robs us of moral character?
These films were calculated to transgress social boundaries. They were calculated to do this. That's why they were created, and they created.
I like that.
I understand that. This was a battle between Protestants, Catholics, and Jews. Okay, the Protestant ruling class, the WASP elite, ran the country. They were the guardians of the moral order. The Jews had just come from Eastern Europe. They had stolen this technology. They were using it to corrupt the morals of the people, and the people were outraged.
Stolen what technology?
the film technology.
How do they steal it?
That's a minor point. That's
I think
beside
they
the
just
point.
I think they just used it. Wait, actually, hold on.
Wait a minute. You're diverting me from the story here.
Well,
which
no,
is
no. But I've been reminded of historical allegory. In this example, is Hollywood not Christ-like? Jesus Christ was transgressive in his time, was he not? And when he preached his word to his flock, he attracted from Rome, the condemnation of the state. Transgression was the mechanism through which he, sacrificed himself to absolve humanity of sin.
You're using the word transgressive in an equivocal fashion that simply does not apply. Jesus Christ did not transgress the sensibilities of the people of his time. He went out of his way not to transgress those sensibilities.
He got crucified. I think he made a few people angry.
He did. He made the Jews angry, and they crucified him. You're absolutely right.
Wait, hold on. The Jews were acting on behalf of Rome, and Rome did not like Jesus Christ. You know those Colosseums you're fond of? They fed Christians to the lions, right? You guys were the transgressors back then.
Are we talking about pornography?
We're talking about transgression.
So anyway, back to the 1920s, Hayes tried to rein them in, and he failed. Okay, he failed to rein Hollywood, and they continued to produce these transgressive films. The people continued to be outraged.
Transgression is good, is it not? It's Christ-like.
No. So the people were outraged.
Wait, what do you mean no? What's wrong with transgression? Shouldn't we always work to push the boundaries of society forward?
No.
Why not?
No.
Christ did.
No, that's not what I've already explained. That you're ignoring what I said.
Have you read the Bible, sir? He was quite subversive in his time. I'm not diverting you. No discussion on Christ is the diversion. Everything in the world but Christ is the diversion. I'm just telling you, like, he made a lot of people angry. He was the king of the Jews, and for his word, he was persecuted by Rome, as were many Christians afterwards. So I just don't understand. Like, again, I need to know, like, what is it about the naked body that's wrong to see on a screen? I've seen it in real life. It didn't hurt me. It was cool, actually.
If someone gets fired up by pornography and he goes out and rapes someone, there's a victim because he was allowed to view images that are just will influence his behavior.
But rape rates were higher before porn.
All of these instances influence behavior one way or the other.
Rape was more common before pornography. Rape was like way more common back like in the Middle Ages and stuff before pornography was prevalent. So it seems like, if anything, it could be because of porn. You're
making statements that have no basis in reality.
Wait, do you think rape is more common now than 1496 France?
What are the statistics? This is ridiculous. The statistics of rape in the Middle Ages. They don't have any statistics about rape in the Middle Ages.
Yeah, we do.
It's a preposterous claim.
We also have ones from the early 20th century before pornography was widely accessible. I mean, it's really internet pornography that we're mostly, because that's when it really like popped off, right? And you can actually see, if you just want to look at modern research, rates of rape have generally gone down, even as porn consumption has skyrocketed. So I don't think there's an association.
And how can I argue with modern research?
If the evidence disagrees with you, you can't pretend it's the opposite.
Just to be sure there's not too much interrupting, we might have to go into the 3-minute segments that we've done in the past, just to be sure.
Oh, it's fun though. Okay, I'll let him go for it then.
The new technology of our era, namely the internet, which is it's a utility. These people didn't create it, but there are people who are simply banning anyone that they disagree with because they own it. It's very similar to what was happening in Hollywood at this time.
Who's getting banned?
Many people are getting banned
on
the internet. This is really sophomoric, you know. This,
wait, that's not sophomoric. That's really, a very clear. Wait, hold on, wait, really quickly, because I've let you go. Being banned for being anti-Semitic has nothing to do with the porn industry, okay? Twitter has a TOS. That's not my fault. That's not the Jews' fault. That's your fault. Look, if we're talking about the morality of pornography, maybe it's your brain that's been darkened, and if you saw a few more pairs of tits, you would be able to understand and answer this damn question. How is it harmful to see nudity on a screen? I need to, because this is literally like the topic of the discussion. I need to know. So you say that people can imitate behavior they see in porn. So when I look at porn, you've got me. I see people having sex, and I have had sex. So you've got me on that one. I think people were doing that before porn. In terms of like violent sexual behavior, like rape, rates have gone down. We have a chart up right now. I mean, you don't care because I imagine if the evidence disagrees with you, it'll be from them. But rape rates have not increased with porn. So just where is the harm? Like, like how? Like, because you do need to convince me. Even on the NoFap forums, they're telling themselves stories about
what is NoFap for? What were they involved in? What were these guys involved in when they're watching pornography?
Jerking off, I imagine.
And that's immoral.
How is jerking off immoral?
Do you have any sense of what morality is? I mean, can you give?
If you did, then you would be able to answer me.
I will answer you. Okay, there's human sexuality is something that the human being has to regulate according to reason. Okay, he's not like a salmon where electrical chemical reactions go off and he turns around and swims upstream. He has to subject human sexuality to reason, to rationality.
What reason?
Okay.
Well, the rationality is I want to jerk off, and then you jerk off. I think that's perfectly in line with the mechanisms, the faculties of reason given to me by God.
I know you do. I know you do, and that's why I say your mind is darkened. Of course you do.
Isn't that rational?
Of course you do. No, it's not rational.
Give the rational argument for the give the rational argument for the opposite. Why shouldn't I jerk off?
Okay, because human sexuality has an end. You probably don't know this, but it actually leads to procreation, to the creation of other human beings.
I can come multiple times. I'm not like done after one. Like next week, if I'm with like a girl, I'll still be able to. I'm not in any way impeding the process.
The end of sexuality is union with a member of the opposite sex, leading to procreation. That's obvious from the act. That's what the act is. That's what the act does. You can pervert that act, okay? But then you're not acting rationally, and you're not going to end up with the end that the act has to achieve.
Yeah, if we're following through, the purpose of hearing is to listen to people near you, so headphones are a corruption of that rational process. Your skin clothes you, so wearing clothes is a corruption of that. Well, hold on, Mr. Jones, is a corruption of that natural process. I have no doubt at your ripe old age that you've benefited from some manner of medical technology, which is, again, a corruption of humans' natural process. See, if we want to do this, if we want to go back to natural processes, I would be the young, strong hunter-gatherer, and you would be dead because you're twice my age. We both rely on deviations from humans' natural role in the civilization. You don't even have to deviate. I'm pretty sure there are animals other than humans who masturbate. So I just need to know, like, why. You always refer to some nebulous purpose. I'm not religious, you know, though I seem to have read the Bible more than you. What harm is done if you jerk off? If anything, it helps you because it lowers your risk of prostate cancer, and if you nut somebody later, you have fresh sperm. So, I mean, it's like clearing the gutters, right? I mean, it's just, where is the harm? I need to know.
Have you ever heard of guilt?
I've heard of the concept.
But you think it's a bogus concept?
It's a thing I think most higher animals are capable of experiencing. So I don't think it's.
Do you think people experience guilt after they masturbate?
Sometimes. I think that guys sometimes do. Girls don't often, I think.
Okay, then why? Then you explain to me why that happens.
Because after the endorphin rush of orgasm, there's usually a come down from that feeling. But that's also the case during sex, not just during masturbation. Like I've certainly had times where having sex.
Why don't you feel sex? Why don't you feel guilt after you have normal sex? Let's say a husband and wife. Why don't they feel guilt? Well, it's the same endorphin rush. Right?
I just said they can, though, and also I've never felt guilt after coming because I'm very proud of myself. Wait, some do. The feeling you're describing, the post-orgasm come down, that's just a product of an endorphin imbalance. You have a height of it during the orgasm. Wait. This is literally, wait, come on. Unless you've never come, like, you know I'm right on this. After the orgasm, there's a come down from that period.
You're ignoring what we just said. There is no guilt experienced in normal sexual intercourse. It doesn't exist.
I'm sure some people do feel that way.
Doesn't exist. Well, you're sure, huh?
Do you have any evidence that it doesn't?
I have evidence that no one who engages in normal sexual activity, married people, they don't feel guilty when they do it.
You have that evidence? That's incredible. How do you have that evidence?
Because I live in this world.
Pew data? Well, oh wait, do you have like a study, or is it in your head? It's like
I'll give you a chance to respond, Dr. Jones, but I
your
do
mind
want
evidence.
to mention that we got maybe about 2 minutes before we have to transition into the Q&A.
Do we get closing statements before Q&A?
I'm open to changing it if you each want.
I just
to have
want
a
1
short
minute.
closing statement.
Yeah, I just want 1 minute. I guess it's just reaffirming to see that these are the kinds of arguments that you get for a topic like this, you know. Why is something bad? Because it's wrong. Why is it wrong? You know why it's wrong. No, I don't. Why? Because you know it's wrong. Because it's like, porn can cause rape. Well, the data shows rape is far less common now than it used to be. Well, that's what the data shows. But, like, you know, it's like, you want the world to be the way you want to be. Like, the world is how you want it to be, Ruth Jones. You're locked in your mind. So, I don't think anything's going to change your mind. I guess it's just funny to, like, chip away at the rock that's inside your skull. It is pretty interesting, though. I have to imagine that, you know, tilting at windmills has left you very personally unhappy. I don't know if, like, not nutting means the cum is pulled up to your brain and it's just sort of souping up there, but I would strongly suggest you reconsider your priors, because the direction you're taking right now is not phenomenal, and it's quite dumb. Yeah, that was funny as hell. That was good. That was basically just me beating up like a dummy for a while. That feels good. Maybe I am a sadist.
Pornography is equivalent to freedom.